What a day. Alright. Let's get it going. As we start up and get this underway. So, Ryung spawns top right, so the opening map is Dynasty as well, so maybe that's why they just sent Ryung and... Okay. Well, we get this up and running. We get this all started up. And we see where we're going to go. Hatchery coming down on the natural as we settle down for the first few moments. And again, see where things are going to take us over the next little bit. Barracks coming up, hatch gas and pool coming in, a couple drones coming about as well. You have SCV just going to put the gold base down, so Ryung's just going to send this on that gold base. He's not going to care too much about the possibility of what might happen here, it seems. He's just going to commit to it and let it pan out a little bit. It's going to be popping through in just a moment as well, so just bringing that up and online. Get that on the way. As, yeah, Command Center coming up, couple of Queens and Lings all coming about also, so just bringing that through for the moment. Yeah, nothing too crazy in the first few moments, actually, just going to be pretty chill. Obviously, it is Dynasty, so you have a gold base, but that's kind of just to be expected with the map, so... Nothing crazy outside of the map itself. Again, wasn't even picked by the players. It's just the first map for the finals. Definitely an interesting one to have to play on. We'll have to double check what the vetoes were from teams for losers pick. The vetoes were Ghost River and Post Youth. So pretty much the same as the last time. The Zergs don't want to play Ghost River. The Terrans don't want to play Post Youth. And a lot of this series is going to be ZvT. So the vetoes from each team very much so just match up to ZvT based on whether they have the Zergs or whether they have the Terrans, plain and simple. Reaper is hanging around, link speed is continuing up as well. Reaper still continues through for a moment. Again, link speed continuing to come about then. Getting that underway. Getting settled down here. Couple of Lings still going after the Reaper, so the Reaper is going to be taking a few shots, just about pulling away then in the end. Getting out of there eventually, but yeah, taking a few shots of damage is still low. And these few Lings have speed, they're going to chase it. The grenade is not going to be good enough, and so Ryung will lose his Reaper and further information that he might have been looking to gain from that. Well, our Queen's going to be in position there. The Marine going to fly away onto the command center. The couple Hellions still moving about. And we just have ourselves the Marine continue to fire back onto that Overlord. So just pushing that Overlord around a little bit here. Doing what we can to clean that up for a little while. And yeah, a couple Hellions going to come down into position as well. It's going to move about. It's going to be seeing those Hellions still on the way. Orbital Command will build on the natural. It's just going to get that on the go. Get that started up. Nothing too wild. Queen's going to be there to push the Hellions back as well. It's just going to get those shoved back into the center of the map. Away we go. Well, Hellions obviously going to try and maintain control here a little bit. Banshee gets the cloak on the way up, so we get that cloak coming through. Rotoron, Lair, drones, couple of Lings, and the Overlord all continuing by also. So that continues up for the moment as we bring this in. The Banshee continues around the top side, and well, so far definitely seems as though Ryung is not going to find much because the units are in position to deal with the Banshee pretty much immediately, so that goes down and does not manage to gain very much at all. So that is a quick closing to that that attempt of making something happen. Excuse me. Been a long day, guys. My voice is going a little bit, actually. Full weekend of doing the casting. Apparently my voice can't handle it anymore, man. Getting caster old, I guess. Apparently. Well, the Hellions still gathering up. A couple Banshees will come across as well. They're going to join with those Hellions to see what they may be able to do. Hellion Banshee together will continue out onto the map, and just going to see that hatchery on the low ground. Going to take a few shots of damage. Banshee's still firing away, and that hatch really is going to take a bit of a beating here, in fact, as Hellions and the Banshees will try and get onto it. Really trying to send it. Hatchery is going to get cancelled, so Hellion Banshee getting a cancel. I mean, in a way, the Hellion Banshee isn't elsewhere doing damage as well, I guess, so that's kind of reasonable. Let's just see those Lings trying to run forward. The SCV is going to go down, so the SCV falls. The rest of the Marines gathering up. Roaches are spawning. The Ravagers trying to come around the back of the gold base to harass is found by the Hellions as well, so we will actually for now push that back. So good play from Ryung, just to basically say no to Serral and say, no, you don't get to do that. That's not a play you get to make in this situation. Just shut that down right away. Let's just move about again. We do see the Roach Queen still pressing forward. Medivacs Marines gathering up. Banshees will fire. Roaches will take some shots. The corrosive bars trying to come down. The Overseer going to take a hit. Banshees do pull away, but one of them kind of low HP, and the Hellions trying to poke around on the other side, but Serral has defense already in position, so nothing coming out of that just yet. As now see these Marines going to make a stim forwards, and actually going to get a good dive through. Queen going down, drones chased. Hatchery going to be in trouble. Actually going to continue to go for this. Hatchery, Ryung just sends it. The Roaches do not save it. The Hatchery will fall, but it does cost Ryung everything in that drop, so did not come freely, as now one Banshee goes down, corrosive bars, and we start to pick our way through some of those SCVs as well. Medivacs continuing over, +1 melee, +2 carapace, both coming up. Inland speed is in production as well. All of that continues through for the moment. We're losing a lot of SCVs to that consistent harassment, so that's just something that just keeps on being a little bit of a problem there. It's tough to kind of stop that once it starts, right? I mean, if you don't have map control, then that position is just so tough to kind of come out and fight against, so a little bit of a problem as the Medivacs load up and go pulling away. First of all, as the few Marines will try and be the pushback here. I love that these Queens are here, though. Put damage on the Banshee again. Ryung is dropping across the map, Serral trying to deal with that at the same time. Honestly taking a pretty okay fight considering the amount of units he had in that position. Thought that was going to be a whole lot worse, as Marines are going to end up loading back up into the Medivacs there. Cryptium is being cleaned out as our Marines get to work. Marines and the Medivacs continue through, just going to go down this ramp. Lings, Roaches, the Baneling going to continue up as well. Just going to try and take position right away as the Marines get pushed away. Just going to load back up into said Medivacs right now and just get out of there. We're going to still try and drop about, but Serral is maxed out, also getting the tech online of Vipers and so on. It's going to start looking a lot better for Serral as he potentially can maybe look to take some larger fights. The Vipers will allow him to much more easily break into some of the defensive positions that are on the map. So we'll definitely be watching a bit for that as these Medivacs going to get Parasitic bombed. Abduct and the Queens. Oh, you have more abducts available. You only get one medevac in the end. Which, for all of that energy, is maybe not the best, but I guess it was kind of fine. I'm just going to see some more Lings showing up. I mean, to be fair, it's still just, energy is still free. I'm just going to see a lot of those Lings actually continue to go down. The Ravager needs to be careful because the Marines were starting to fire up right there. They were starting to just machine gun their way through things. I felt like that Ravager was about to donate itself forward as well, but did manage to stop it before it became an issue. Lings, bit of Ravager Bane, still trying to push their way through there, but will not succeed, unfortunately, so nothing gained over in that direction. Hansen's still coming up, the Marine's still moving around. I see those roaches still going across. I'm just going to be hitting the CC for a couple of moments, so CC will take a few shots of damage. It's going to be seeing the scan coming down again. This army, the Marines in the top left, knocking down a few of the creep tumors and creating some positional advantages. Marines are going to fire up once more. Ling, Roach, Ravager, Bane. Now supported by the Vipers coming forward again. Marines are going to turn. Lings and Banes are going to keep on trying to move through. Once again, Serral focusing on this position. Now that the minerals are mined out, you can actually attack through on the ground in this position as well, so Serral can much more easily make his way forward. Able to get there with great ease as we just have our army of Ryung holding on. I mean, he's hanging on in there. The question is, how long do you hang on in there, and how long does that do you any benefit against someone like Serral? Serral has yet to kind of rush forward and take a larger fight, but probably just because he feels like he doesn't need to. He's very comfortable the later the game goes, and just doesn't feel the need to try and pressure any time before then. Across the bars coming down. Might be at the point as well soon where we actually try and clean up some of, or trade out some of this army just to improve our composition a bit. Could also be a bit of a factor here in the near future, so something else to keep our eyes on, keep our mind on. Marines unloading. Changeling gets knocked down immediately. Little scan coming about. Roach, Ravager, Bane moving away. The few Marines are getting chased here as well. Pulling back. Actually going to get the hatchery on the 6 o'clock position already. So just going to go grab that right from the get-go. Queen still taking some chances to get shots off. And that medevac taking some big hits as well. Queens will continue to fire here. The couple of Marines are still taking shots. Damage will be done across the board. It's still just coming through here from Serral, continuing in the same direction. Bane's going to go rolling forwards. The Ravager's coming through as well. It's just going to try and make a little bit of a push in. Do have the again, army of Serral never really come into a full fight, just these little positions where you can get a bit of value done. Love that pickup on the medevac, by the way. Saved a siege tank right there, so good job in that regard from Ryung on the micro, showing us that may not be the hardest Terran player on the team, but you still got some pretty smooth micro moves. So we're going to roll in here. It's one of those moments where it's like you want to try and get rid of the bases. Oh, the Corrosive Bowels just get rid of it, but obviously there are going to be bases to replace, but you're replacing with an orbital instead of a planetary, so that does come at a little bit of a cost. That's a little bit of a problem. Bio continues through. Roach goes down. The orbital can re-land there in a few moments. Mule's going to drop down on that position as well. Just going to get that back up and running one more time. Well, Ling, Bane, Ravager, Viper still coming through. The Lings are going to run forwards. The Bane's going to try and connect. Parasite bombs going down across these medevacs, as we do have the Bio Ghost collecting together. Overseer as well. More shots continue to come through. Ling just gonna go and fire away, open up this set of rocks here. It's gonna be seeing how Biona goes. Continue to come back around. I mean, Serral still putting on the pressure, still trying to press on forward currently. Couple of extra CCs coming in. Ryung definitely just gonna keep on playing this into the later stages. Maybe Ryung's goal here is to go and wear down the opposition. That could also be a thing, right? Just get Serral to be a bit tired, draw him out a little bit. Unloading a couple of burrowed banes around the map. Serral does have very good concentration of the map under his control. Obviously, you see that he's got the top and bottom kind of bases kind of being taken, so he is able to set up there pretty decently already. So going to be seeing these banes pushing through, ultras continuing forward. Lots of shots coming off as the bio units move in and get cleaned out a little bit. It's going to be seeing the banes continuing over there, and we just have once more Serral getting rid of some SCVs, but the slow death of a Terran is very much so that. It is a slow death. Terran players do not die quickly, and Ryung is not going to be changing that general line of thinking in this situation anytime soon, it doesn't seem. Have ourselves a couple moments of continuing through. We do have a shot going off for a second there. Just going to be seeing the ultras getting turned away as well. SCV's going down, so we'll just bleed in Ryung out little by little here. So again, just getting little bits of damage done, slowly but surely. It is adding on up, as we do have the next scan coming down as well. Just another scan coming through. And these Lings going to start running forward. Oh, that doesn't go too great, obviously. Being able to just sit defensively is a great way of holding off here and making sure that you can just keep it going as long as possible, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. Just going to cloak up and advance through. A couple of siege tanks are going to start to do the sieging here as well, so taking position. Both going to try and fire. Some shots coming out. We are going to see this base going down, so Ryung is able to fight back, taking a base in return. My eyes, this is still most likely going to end up being the Serral show, but this was definitely some steps in the right direction as Lings come through. Actually going to just chase down that bio. A couple of tanks are going to get caught in blinding clouds, so they can't really fire back. Fastest continue up. Also, just going to be seeing the bio pushing forwards. As you can see, this bottom right base is Serral going down too. Serral has a lot of money in the bank. I don't think this is of concern or anything just yet, but still fun to see Ryung able to kind of put damage back on the table so far. So yeah, Ryung continues to get a good amount done here. I'm just going to be seeing ourselves playing Bane, Broodlords coming through as well. Tanks and the Ghosts in production, plus 2 vehicle plating is also on the way. We're just going to be firing. A couple of those tanks going down. So tanks will continue to drop. Obviously, Broodlords are something that Ryung needs to get a proper answer to, and that's what he's hoping the Thors are going to be able to do for him. But Serral currently pushing these Broods up and able to take some good stances, able to take some good positions. Fungal growth going down, hitting the Ghosts. Serral will just slowly, systematically remove the opposition here. He is not afraid to play a nice long set of matches, right? And that's going to be the beauty of this series, I think. As that Serral is very happy to let this take as long as it's going to take, as some Ghosts are going to line up. The fungal growth does come down, though, and it will land on those Ghosts. Ghosts actually going to take a lot of damage again. I think this is becoming a much more serious push now as Ryung starts to lose out, and he doesn't have the money to rebuild. He is still pushing the bottom side as well. Serral over there trying to protect his Viper's Blinding Cloud helps to save one of them. Obviously, the units can't fire through the Blinding Cloud, so the Viper doesn't take damage in that moment, and so it is, for now, saved. Just going to be seeing Broodlords firing, just going to see SCVs. Again, a fungal on all the Ghosts. Broods can't get far enough forward to really capitalize. However, Ultras and so on are just going to come charging through up here. I actually felt like they could have just gone. I mean, 2 tanks were remaining. I think they could have just committed to those, and then you've really broken through the opposition in a big way. Jeez. $23 dead SCVs. Ryung, again, like I said, didn't really have the money before to rebuild. Now he definitely doesn't. He's been losing units as well during this. And 23 minutes on Dynasty is going to go the way of Serral, because I think Ryung is already kind of out here, but I guess we sit and wait. See what is next. So you're seeing our links continue to get turned around. We are just going to be seeing the Ultras getting pushed back as well. But it's the Broodlord army I'm still not sure we really have a proper answer to. See, the Hellbats are going to be there. A few more Broodlings going down. Another couple of Broodlings dropping into place. Ghost coming up. Smart Service on the way. 26 Lings plus 2 Flyer Carapace. I mean, just talking about some of the things that's still on the way up here, but... And the main portion of this is probably the fact that this game is probably at a close. Serral looking to take the 1-0 lead and strike first for Basilisk in this grand final of the World Team League. Planetary Fortress will fall. I'm just going to be seeing the Broodlings going after a Ghost there as well. Ryung is starting to just give up the top side of the map and move to the bottom, but again, he just can't maintain a level of income that's going to allow him to rebuild into this Zerg army, because Serral is obviously chasing him down and looking to, you know, get a lot of damage done as well. And we continue to go for that as Broods get the top side base. Obviously, if the Broods are done on the top as well, if, you know, Ryung gives up over there, the Broods can then focus on the south side of the map as well. That's another benefit of this. 25 minutes here on Dynasty. Ryung will put up one hell of a fight. Start off this grand final, but I guess the bigger question maybe will be, would he try and play a similar style again in Game 2? I think Ryung would be way better off just trying to crank out a cheese, do something a little aggressive, and just try and net a win like that more so than anything else. Birds are still firing, damage still being dealt. Gonna be seeing our orbital on this bottom side now taking some damage. I mean, this is what I mean. Once the broods are done on the top, they can now focus on the south, and I don't think Ryung magically has an answer in it just because the armies are fighting on a different location. He is slowly just getting pushed back and getting beaten up. Units still continuing through. Another fungal trying to come out. The broodlords are going to drop in. Trying to get toward those Thors. Lings, few overlords, plus 3 flyer attack, all coming up. We do have the Hellbat's going to be there. Going to pick up a few more lings as well. Take those out. Brutes are going to go pushing. It's going to get into the bottom sides. Each tank gets grabbed. Going to try and go for more. Good fungal growth. Going to land on a bunch of units as well. Brutes coming in again. More fungals. Continue to zone out certain areas of the map right now. Doing a good job of this. It's going to be seeing that broodlords continue to push forwards. And again, Ryung has not enough supply to ever fight out against this. These fours are going to get caught. Medevac's not even evacuate them. Ryung will say GG. The last 28 minutes against Serral. Serral game 2. Obviously, Serral looking to put Basilisk to a hefty lead right off the get-go here. Right out of the gate. Ryung top right, Serral bottom left. Yeah, there really is a possibility of a lot of later game scenarios breaking out in this series with the list of players that we have to play. Rax, Bass, all coming through for a couple of moments. Just going to get that set up. The hatchery comes down from Serral on the natural. Just going to get that in position right from the get-go there. It's just going to start that up, get that a-rolling. Will just be done very soon. Again, the hatch gas and pool all coming about for a couple of moments. Get that up and running. Orbital and the repair coming up also. SCV goes to the bottom left-hand side. Just gonna show up already and just see nothing crazy's happening. Not even drone mining the gold minerals, although one is gonna move over to do that right now. So actually, we'll start up on that right there as the command center continues to sit in position. Get this up and rolling. I'm just gonna have a Reaper still on the move. Some link speed coming up, and again, my big question is still going to be, what is the plan, Ryung? What do you do? I mean, currently 3CCing it up. What is the plan from there? What are we gonna do? I mean, surely you can't just try and go into like a long game again. Everything's going to move up. Couple aliens on the way out. SCVs coming through. Aliens are going to start going after those lings, and things will take a bit of damage pretty quickly, so damage being dealt. It goes down. A couple of queens going to get bopped about. The roach run from Serral. He does take that forward base initially, that rich Vespian gas available to him, so aggressive options, because obviously he can push forward from this position. That is going to be one of the choices Serral will have in this game, so he can look to try and do that. Just going to grab a creep tumor. Knock that down against him coming up. Roach run coming through as well. Just going to get rid of the little Overlord Scout. Factory's going to build a reactor. Starport can take a reactor, or can build its own, depending on what the barracks wants to do. If the barracks wants to nab that one that's available or not. That second Starport he just started? Am I crazy? I swear down just saw a Starport finished. Now he's building one. Am I crazy? Okay, well. Maybe I am. Maybe it's been too long of a day of StarCraft, too long of a weekend of StarCraft. Aliens will poke onto the hatchery, so a bit of damage going to be done on that one. Hatch taking some shots. See the Hellions going to fire up onto those Queens a few moments. Queens are going to come back across Reaper, and the Hellions keep moving around. Just going to get a creep tumor as we go. He's going to fire up onto that Overseer. Overseer will go down. Some Marines are able to get a grab on it. Overseer falling. Marines continuing about then. Down the right hand side. 1-1 melee upgrades. Roach speed continuing to come through. Starting to press forwards. Obviously, this is a map where you expect the town to be able to kind of take some better positions, set up the tanks and stuff like that. Let's just have Marines stemming up to the top. Roaches will already be taking some damage, so a few shots going out there, and now going to turn it back around down to the south side. Still going after those Hellions. A little bit more being done. Hellions getting chased away. Marines going to be there to fight some of the Lings off as well. It's going to get those Marines loading back into the medevacs, and we will, for the moment, at the very least, be able to escape away from this. Marines going to get pushed away. He's going to be seeing our Marines loading back into the medevac. Serral up about 20 supply. He loses a couple of drones, but for the most part is still playing that defense. Is still able to push this back and to limit what is going on. And we're seeing our game continuing through for the moment then. Looking reasonable right now. This is obviously 2 upgrades on the way on both sides. We also see the action coming in on the side of Ryung in terms of 2-2, but Serral's already on that hive tech and starting to get some action going there. Gonna make something with all of that then as we get underway. Just gonna be seeing the, again, 2-2 upgrades continuing through for a moment or so. Get that up and rolling. I think Cloud's coming down. Serral a lot more aggressive this game. Is absolutely not letting Ryung just build up as much as he did last time. So that's already very interesting. Different approach here from our Zerg, who is just basically, I think, almost saying just like, yeah, last game of the map obviously let me kind of play a long game as well, but this time I'm not going to be as nice to you, basically. He's not going to let it go just for the sake of letting him go, so it does seem pretty darn good at the moment for Serral here, setting up nicely, getting some good damage done, putting this into a good position to begin with. Serral is going to have to come back, deal with this drop onto the bottom side, so something he's going to have to handle here over the next few moments. Let's figure that out as the Banes, though, are going to come through with the Roach Ravager. This forward base, this fourth of Ryung is not being allowed. Serral will continue to push forward with it, and he is also heading into the Hydra Den, which I can only imagine is eventually going to lead us to a Lurker Den, and that's going to be how we play this late game out. So it feels as though there's a chance to play Lurkers this time, where last game there wasn't. Again, the difference in maps basically letting us play some different compositions and seeing things pan out a little bit differently game to game. If I can get a few more shots off, just going to be seeing the Roach Ravager lane on a move around as well, trying to see where we can get to. CC lifts off, just gonna get pushed away. Patrick goes down the top left-hand side. He's gonna be seeing 3-3 still coming about as well. Continue to move back over. Vipers, Lings, Rav just continue to gather up. That's going to be seeing the, I mean, Serral was doing some good job pushing, but we'll not go any further than that, it seems. Things will settle down now. He's going to jump on towards the hatch. Feelings, the Banes getting knocked out. A few more of these Banes continue to go down as well. That's a bomb. Just continuing up over in that direction. Well, Roach Ravager Bane up to the top, coming through as well. That's going to be seeing the Parasite Bomb pushing that medevac away. I think that dies, right? So Serral will get rid of it. I mean, in the end, Serral didn't deny the fourth base coming up forever. He denied it for a little while. The thing is, you don't really need to deny the fourth base coming up forever, right? At this point, I think you can kind of look at this and say, yeah, but this gets into a fairly respectable position overall, so it's not really all too bad. See how our Drop Lord's trying to get in. Serral is still obviously going to be in a good spot. He's got a lot of bases up. His opponent's only on the 4-base setup. So 4 bases is an allowable amount to let the Terran be on, basically. So that's fine. Two more corrosive bars just coming about here. So yeah, Ghost gonna fire back. Ravages will take a couple of shots. The scan coming around, the Marines are going to fire back as well. Just going to see shots going off here, there, and everywhere. We do have Cryo coming over. Fueling's going down. The Banelin's wandering up as well. So have you seen those ghosts getting smashed by the Banes? I mean, Serral has so much money, and that's the benefit of Serral right now, is that he has not been denied getting up to his bases. He's not been denied workers mining away comfortably throughout. He's been able to play his game, and that's absolutely coming out to be in his favor now. Quite apparently, so it's definitely starting to look good as Marines pulling about, Dropper Lords moving Lings around here, there, and everywhere as well. Scan coming up, just going to be seeing a few more Marines getting over to the side, a couple more Lings getting picked off. Here we go with units up the right. Ling, Bane, Ravager is going to push straight through. Fifth base attempt of Ryung, similar to the fourth. Serral's going to try and slow it down, but he's losing a lot of units initially attacking into this, and he might not be able to keep this up. Ryung might get to that fourth base and might be able to play that out for a little bit. Might be able to play that out a little bit. Which is still respectable as Ryung keeps this game going then. Keeps our first match of the day in this grand final alive. And it was a long, long semi-final. If you're just tuning in, wondering how is this final only started. Clem Raynor played a lot of long games. Kua kind of was involved in that as well. Even Showtime got involved. It's been a busy one up until now. Well, Feelings just going to drop off into this mineral line. A few SCVs will begin to fade away. Scanning out to a couple of the edges and scan out to some edges, try and see what's up. We also have... I mean, I guess Ryung is going to get to the fifth base, and so I guess Serral will have to go Broods, and this is going to start taking a similar direction to what we saw previously. This is going to start going the same kind of way, so get that set up, get this going. He's in a little abduct. Medevac getting brought forwards. Going to get brought forwards a couple times, taken out. This is where Serral obviously is just going to play for the efficiency game, and Vipers are going to be a major part of that. Pretty much anything you cast off a Viper creates efficiency from the rest of your units. So whether that's a Blinding Cloud, an Abduct, Parasitic Bombs, return energy into efficiency, and that's the sort of thing that's going to start winning you games when they get to this stage, when they get to this sort of length. If you're not playing it like that, then you're probably going to end up having a pretty bad time. It's going to be seen now. Bane still rolling through. Tank still under some fire. More Marines moving around as well. Now we do have the Ryung supply clearly not quite holding out as much as you might like. So we see that Ghost, now Marines continuing across. Still getting up to the top side again, plus their vehicle weapons, Neo Steel plating. Some good upgrades just on the way through in general, so we continue to bring that out and about for now, getting that all set up. Hydra Bane going to come up through the center again. Worried that Ryung is not able to max out again here. The longer you don't max out for, the tougher this is going to get. Philip Igniter is producing. Just going to be seeing everything else coming in. shot's gonna fire up. Just gonna have our Lings and our Vipers moving up this left-hand side. Abduct on a tank. Looks like the forward base here is probably gonna go down. Snipes are putting in some work and actually getting rid of a lot of Ravagers, so expensive units as well for Serral to replace. Very gas heavy. Does take a lot of investment to kind of replace those, so it's a nice little something to keep in mind as well, as you just see our Marines. Ghost gonna trail down over here, and it's actually gonna be Ryung to try and play the denial game now. He's gonna try and deny a base and keep Serral back as best as possible, which is, again, if nothing else, I do feel like Ryung is playing a pretty commendable match. I really do feel as though he's doing a great job of just trying his absolute very best to keep Serral as busy as possible. Keep Serral at least a bit of a challenge. I mean, no one expects Ryung to beat Serral, and yet here we are with him standing his ground, holding his own, forcing Serral to take proper fights, to approach this in a proper manner. I think there's definitely something to talk about with that. So, more shots coming off. Ghosts and Marines gonna fire away. We've seen a few more ghosts firing up. Marines taking some chances to fire some hits in as well, so damage being done. CC moving about. Just going to be seeing this army still coming over here. Lings running through. Tank gonna get grabbed. Alright, well, we just continue to move through here, and we have ourselves the next step being base going to the bottom right. I mean, Ryung is still struggling to kind of get to a point where he maxes out, it feels like. Feels as though he's not being able to do too much there, as we'll just have our few shots coming in. Fungal growth going down. Bio gonna get caught. Just gonna push that around a little bit here. See a little bit more action still breaking through, so a few shots coming about here and there. Damage being done. Gonna be seeing a couple of tank shots going about and a few more hits coming through, so damage still being done across the board here. We are gonna have ourselves the Serral run by moving forwards. Again, Serral with a massive bank. He can rebuild out of this for days upon days. That is not a problem for him. Serral really is in prime position as Ryung is melting, dying. I think we're finally going to get to the end of this series, guys. I mean, the first match of the day in the finals is going to take a little bit to get finished up, but we're going to get there. GG says Ryung, and Serral does take the first 2-0. And now Vitality have to pick their player. Now they have to, have some time to think here who their player may be. Do you send Sola or do you send Maru? Do you go straight for more ZvT or do you try Sola out in the ZvZ? Sola did have a lot of success against Serral over the